Hello, happy day everyone. Chakra Shelly here, doing a video for Love Grows Gaia. This video is going to be an introduction to your source chord, cutting out the Kundalini snakes, what the Kundalini snakes are. Now that you've watched the video on what your Merkaba is and your 13 helix DNA, that is like an elevator that rides up and down what I lovingly call a source chord. What is holding you back is energetic snakes, and those snakes are the knowledge of good and evil, right and wrong, left and right. It's a false pretense, right? You will be polarized. The law of polarity will come in. So this is going to hit on a couple of different subjects. First of all, the snakes. Okay. Does that look familiar? It's the medical field. So anybody who's involved in the medical field is involved in sorcery and DNA manipulation. Okay. So what you want to do is you want to cut these snakes out. You don't need them. What you're unaware of is that you have 6 outside chakras. The Kabbalah knows about it. Certain religions talk about it. They still don't have the proper key code. This is the proper key code. So one side represents good, one side represents bad. One side's, Republican, one side's Democrat, one side is you're always right, the next side is you're always wrong. This is duality, okay? In order for you to break universal law, you had to have knowledge of the fruit of the forbidden tree, which is the knowledge of good and evil, okay? So if you know that good and evil is actually a positive and a negative charge on a magnet, that you are a magnet, you cutting out your Kundalini snakes and opening up these 6 outside chakras is going to be something that is a huge part of your ascension process. Now, what happens, say you're like, okay, I deny either side. I'm not going to play in the 2-party system. I'm no longer going to buy that the medical field can heal me. I can heal myself. These are things that all Christ beings can do. You do not need any of these systems. So you having this knowledge is something that you need to apply once you get it, okay? So the Kundalini snakes is the knowledge of good, evil, right, wrong, pick a fucking side. And here at Love Grows Gaia, we ask you to pick you. Don't pick a blue pill or a red pill. How about don't take any pills? How about I'm not going to be considered good or evil or right or wrong. I'm going to deny that reality and that construct altogether, okay? When you do that and you cut these snakes out and you cut out the participation and the knowledge of you having to always pick a side, okay? And instead you're like, nope, I'm going to choose myself. I'm going to choose my own source chord. You are going to cut these out. That is going to free up and open these 6 outside chakras. Okay. Give me a second. Let me get the next visual, which is going to give you this. Okay. Now, the Cabal and the satanic people and all that, they're all about their 666. Well, the 3 6s that they're trying to control is this operating system right here, these 6. If they have their snakes in you and they've got you buying the reality of right, wrong, red pill, blue pill, they've got you, okay? So I don't vote, you guys. I don't partake in it. I don't go to doctors. I'm going to heal myself. All of this is within you, and I'm speaking to your dormant DNA. This is what's waking up inside of you. So first those snakes are going to come up and you're going to get pulled in these 2 directions. And then you're going to polarize and you're going to say, nope, not having it. I'm not accepting this. So what happens next is once you deny that as your reality and you won't pick a side, you choose yourself instead, you are going to have what is called a twin flame union. This is absolutely not a person outside of you, okay? The process of your source chord connecting all the way back up to the Godhead, which is the center of the Milky Way, and it connecting down to the outer skirts of the Milky Way, where it's just nothing but darkness. It's the womb code, it's the matter frequency. All right. This is the process of you having to cut out the snakes and you having to say, nope, I'm not partaking in it. I'm not partaking in any medical scam. I'm not partaking in any government. I'm not partaking in a false reality that I have a right with my vote, because they've always been set up. Every president has always been picked and assigned. You guys never had a fucking say so about it. Seriously, you never did. All right. And I think you're realizing that. Now that you've seen both Hillary and Trump scream and yell that somebody stole the election from either one of them, and all of these election problems, you guys should stop. Look at what the medical field has done to you in the past couple of years with this COVID shot and everything else. Don't let the snakes in, okay? Don't let them in. Cutting them out, cutting the knowledge of this out, what happens after that is called a twin union. And down these sides, down one side from the Godhead, the number 6, the color turquoise, will come in and fill up one side. Up from the bottom of your source cord, the divine feminine, hot pink, will come in and fill up the other side. Now, these are physical orbs, you guys, okay? Whether or not you see them is not really imperative. You will feel them, okay? Hot pink. I thought I pulled out the turquoise orb, but I didn't, so hold on. Pulled out the blue one, not the hot pink one, or not the turquoise one. I don't know if she got a picture of the two of them dancing. I think she did. Do we have a magenta in here? Yes. Okay. All right. So visually, turquoise and hot pink. Okay. Turquoise is going to come down, the divine masculine, the rod of illumination, the seed, the number 1 and the number 6. That's all on lovegrows.com. The E is a 3, the numbers, okay? And then your hot pink is going to come up. Now, what's going to happen is, this is how you're going to jump a dimension, okay? So I'm going to put these cards down. You're going to cut out these snakes. You're going to call your twin union back to you, your divine feminine, your divine masculine. They are going to center in and they are going to fill up those outside chakras, okay? Now, has any of you ever heard of a source chord? What's a source chord? Never heard of that. Of course not. Nobody wants you to hear about the source chord. All of these visuals are on our website, okay? And I do suggest that you grab the website and you take these visuals and you screenshot them and you keep them in your purview, okay? So this is a dimensional chart. This shows you the center of, without those 6 chakras, and then you've got the ones going down the center. Each dimensional space fills up with different colors. You still have your 6 outside chakras, and then you're going to have more, and I'm going to cover that in the next video. But this is how you're going to jump a dimension. Now, you're never going to leave a dimension, you guys, okay? Your source cord is attached to it. So if you look, this source cord permanently attaches down to the 0 point, and it permanently attaches up to the Godhead, which is the center of the Milky Way. There are more than what's on this chart. It goes up to 144,000 dimensions, which is where that number comes from. It means nothing else. Okay, so if you look in the 3rd dimension, you guys are operating in your perceptual visions of the 3rd dimension, and everything is 3D to you. But that in that dimension, you have a green heart chakra, okay? Which is why everybody in the government wants a Green New Deal. They want you to stay in the 3rd dimension. They want to do this reset. The planet is saying no to the reset. The planet is only saying yes to what you're getting here, and that is you need to have your divine operating system and the knowledge of it back so that you no longer eat from the forbidden trees and be involved in the unholy fucking food chain. That's what I call it down here. Okay. So in the third dimension, your heart chakra is green. If you want to perceptually jump a dimension or operate in all these dimensions, you first have to cut your snakes out. You have to deny that that is your reality. You have to go into, I write my own reality. I am my own creator. I am my own inner source. I am my own God. I do not have a power greater than me. Nothing can have power over me, right? When you admit to a power greater than you, then something has power over you, and you don't want to do that. Okay. So when we talk about jumping dimensions, this whole 3 to 5D bullshit that's going on out there, it's not bullshit. It's just, there's no information on how to do it. So I'm going to tell you how to do it. If you want to jump into the fourth dimension, you're going to use your heart chakra. You're going to use the center of your Merkaba with your love, and you are going to have this merge. So I want you to look at the heart chakra. It's a violet pink of the fourth dimension. And now we're going to go back to these colors, okay? So you cut your snakes out. You're like, fuck it. There's got to be something more than right, wrong, good, evil. If I'm not going to choose a president because I don't get to choose anyway. It's a bunch of bullshit. I'm going to choose this instead. I'm going to choose this union inside of me. I'm going to choose that I have my own connection and that I am my own creator with matter here. And I'm going to call these two orbs in, and they're going to fill me up on either side. Okay. Now, that's the number 0 and the number 1 coming into you in your binary. All right. So all these people who are saying that they're not binary, they're denying their divine masculine and their divine feminine, their 1 and their 0. Their container of creation, the womb, and their rod of illumination, the penis, they are denying that they are creators. Okay. So that is the Antichrist. This is where the Chris code is going to come back to those who want it and want to receive it, and the knowledge of what is it, how does it work, and how do I operate as a multi-dimensional being. These two will start to see each other, and when they see each other, that's the number 2. And what happens is they start to dance. And when they start to dance, they start to blend their frequencies. They haven't merged yet, right? But they're what's called a binary star system. So that happens in the fourth dimension, where your divine masculine and your divine feminine come inside, they fill you up, they see each other, and now they have created a divine dance of binary code and frequency within you. When they start blending together, they haven't merged, but when they start mixing their colors together, the divine feminine glows, and your heart chakra turns into a violet pink. Okay, putting these two together, you have a violet pink. Let me see if I have a card for that. I'm using Diana Cooper's because she actually got the chart right. There are a lot of charts out there. This is very much the color of the magenta, the pink that I'm speaking of right here. Okay. I do use her cards, but I black out the words on her cards because they are not correct. This is another divine feminine frequency coming in and mixing in, and it gives you more of the magenta, violet, pink color. And this changes the chakra, your heart chakra's actual color, which pops you up into the spiritual fourth dimensional frequency. So that's how you jump from the third dimension to the fourth dimension, but you're still residing in the third dimension. You're still a 3D human being. You are residing in all of these dimensions at once. What you need to do is to be able to perceive them all and actually see them all, right? So to jump from the third to the fourth dimension, you are going to have this divine twin union. They are going to start seeing each other. You are going to start to see your reality as it's all an illusion. All these systems are bullshit. But what is coming in to fulfill those empty spaces, okay? your divinity is going to come back to fill that up if you so choose it. So jumping from third to fourth in perception is you saying, okay, I still reside in the third dimension. I am never going to leave it. It is a part of me. It is a part of my source chord. But I am now going to terraform my third dimension with my own matter in my own reality, using my heart song to do so. And that's what activates your 13, your stargate. Okay, that's what activates your light. Going from the fourth dimension to the fifth dimension, you will see that your heart chakra in the fifth dimension is a pure white frequency, which brings me to the next merge that you are going to have. All right, so to backtrack, first of all, you do have 6 chakras out here. Secondly, cut those fucking snakes. There's no such thing as right or wrong, blue pill, red pill, good, bad, fuck all that. Cut the heads off, pull them out, never acknowledge that as your reality again. Then you call in your own twin union. You ask your own divine masculine and your own divine feminine frequencies to come in and fill in the gaps, fill in the voids where these snakes have left your chakras open. You allow that merge and that dance to happen, okay? And then to jump into the fourth dimension, what's going to happen is these two are going to get together. They're going to merge, and they're going to have what we call the number 3, which is the divine heartbeat, and they have what I call a stargasm. When they've merged and they've met, and then it's just like, you know, divine feminine, divine masculine, and having sex, the penis enters the womb, blah, 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 and a stargasm happens. That then turns it to a number 3, which is bringing you into your pure white heart chakra in the fifth dimension. But you guys are not going to stop there. You're going to keep going up and down the source chord while you're terraforming your new reality. You are the co-creators if you so choose to be. Taking this information is going to show you how to get your perceptions and your abilities back online. When you go into the fourth dimension, there are many things that are going to start coming back in. Telepathy comes in with the hot, with the turquoise, and empathy comes in with the hot pink. Okay, so 2 abilities turn on during this twin union. You become very sensitive to everything. You hear other people's thoughts. No, you are not going crazy. You are actually hearing people's thoughts. You are actually feeling what they are feeling. You become hypersensitive in this, and you start to navigate the emotional frequencies and the thoughts that you are hearing. No one can lie to you, and you cannot be manipulated in consent if you have your telepathy and your empathy on, okay? So some of the things that happens during this process, that you take your divine feminine, your divine masculine back in, you jump into these different dimensional spaces now. You don't exist in one, you exist in all of them. You are always a third dimensional frequency. You are always a fourth. You always have the second and first dimension below you, which I will tell you what the colors are in just a second. But what I want you to understand is that all of you are going to basically become autistic, okay? And it's going to be overwhelming at first, but if you're watching these videos, then you know what's happening to you, okay? You need your telepathy on. You need to know what other people are thinking, and you need to know what other people are feeling so that you cannot be manipulated with your consent. You need to use your abilities now in order to navigate and to know what to say yes to and what to say no to, okay? So as that happens, as that they turn, they see each other, they mate, they have a stargasm, boom, your heart chakra turns into a pure white, and then you jump up into the fifth dimensional frequencies. To hold that space, to hold the fourth dimensional space, you are going to change the chakra colors of your chakra here, and you are going to fill your womb chakra up with the pink orange, right? Orange man bad. You're going to have your base chakra is going to be a pearl white in the fourth dimension. You are always, this is always a sun or solar plexus. It's always going to be gold or something that is shining like the sun in the colors that you've seen in the sun lately. Your heart chakra in the fourth dimension turns into a violet pink, so on and so forth. Okay. So if you want to hold a seventh dimensional perception, you are going to first have your divine feminine and divine masculine, and that's what we call your 3 pillars. Okay. And you can hold whatever dimensional space you want. I don't have anything above the 8th. Diane didn't get anything above the 8th because you weren't supposed to. I guarantee you that once you start practicing holding these different colors, keeping the snakes out, not going back into right, wrong, good, bad, pick a side, that you pick yourself, you start writing up and down this source chord, you are going to come back and tell us what colors are in the 8th dimension. Guaranteed. Okay. So introducing you to your source chord. Now, what you're going to recognize here is you see this little circle here. That little circle is your Merkaba from the last video. Okay. This thing right here. I did use a piece of paper for it, but it was not really all that functional. When I tell you, if you love something into your reality, that brings you up in frequency. When you hate or you dislike something in your reality, that brings you down. So this stargate, this portal, this star that you are, okay, hear me out, star seeds, you are not from anywhere. You have all those aspects, okay? That is the circle here, okay? So if you want to look at the rings of Saturn, you guys are the rings of Saturn, okay? And as you go up in dimensional spaces, you do grow physically. So was there giants here? Yes, the giants are you. You guys all used to be a shit ton taller physically, actually taller, because you had more frequencies in you. So as you guys dropped in dimensional spaces, you actually dropped smaller, 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 smaller. You guys are the giants. Chill. You've got this. So as you jump in dimensions, and during my ascension process, when I started out, I was 5'6" for a very long time. I am now about 5'8". Okay, literally, I've grown 2 inches. And as you go up and down your source chord and you fill yourself up with each dimensional space, you are going to see that once you hit your 7th dimensional frequency, you will start to have more abilities turn on. Your remote viewing also turns on in the 3rd and the 4th dimension. So you have an opportunity to remote view anything you want and verify any information. You have the ability to remote view into anyone's water to see their Akashic records, and you can verify everything for yourselves on everything as you open up your dimensional spaces and portals. So let's recap a little bit. First, you have 6 chakras. Secondly, you call in your own divine masculine. You have an internal twin union. That binary frequency jumps you up into the 4th dimension. When your divine masculine and your divine feminine have a stargasm and they actually merge, that flips you up into the 5th dimension, and then you can just keep rising. And your whole point, guys, is to go up and down in frequency. It is not all love and light. You do have to hover at 0 space. When you are done with something as a reality, you need to bring it back down your source chord and wash your fucking hands of it. Give it back to the womb and the divine feminine. The womb codes create and destroy. Okay? The divine masculine codes seed it and shine a light on it. It's always the divine feminine. Mama brought you in, mama take you out. It's how it always is. But you have these frequencies residing in you. Okay? So introducing you to your source chord, your Merkaba, your source elevator going up and down, okay? You growing in frequencies and you coming back down and throwing things away. Now, what's in the 2nd and 1st dimension? Not on the chart because it probably would have confused everybody as she was coming out with it. Diana Cooper was seeing all these things. She was traveling up and down her source chord and she was noting what she was seeing. She wasn't dropping down into the 2nd and 1st dimension all the time. So the 1st dimension is this, black and white. That's it. It's a petri dish. It's like a negative. Okay, when you take a picture, it comes out like a negative. And a lot of times you guys will see yourself remote viewing. You'll see things in like a negative, or you'll see things in full pervy, which is in 3rd dimension. The 1st dimension, the bottom chakra is black. The top chakra is a white diamond frequency. And then it has different gray colors in between, starting from dark gray, middle gray. So the gray frequency, the black and white frequency, is the 1st dimension. The 2nd dimension is your olive green at the bottom, okay? And then your browns come in, olive green and then dark brown. And then all of the colors of your skin tones, all the melanins of your skin tones are in the second dimension. Your browns, so if you look at the plant life, all of the different natural tones and colors of your beiges and your tans and your browns and your darker greens are all in the second dimension. And as you guys travel down, you'll see what those source chords are. You don't need a chart for that, okay? What you do need to know is, and I need to throw this in, okay, is everybody who's trying to push flat earth, they're stuck in a second dimensional frequency. First dimension is the negative or the blueprint, right? Or the negative of something that you want to see. It's the petri dish. It's where the black and the white start to mix, and you can start to see contrast in anything that you want to do or create. The second dimension, okay, is flat earth. It's a blueprint. It's if you were operating in a flat earth, you would be flat as well. Everything would be flat. We would be like paper thin. We would be like paper. So your negative comes in. Then when you're trying to build a reality, second dimension is where your blueprint comes in and the plant life comes in. You are polarized with plants. You are not polarized with DNA, eating animals, anything else, blood, anything that has to do with flesh and blood. You're not supposed to be consuming it. You come up through the plant world, okay? Everything on this planet does. So knowing what each dimension is and knowing that you can fill your chakras up, and if you want to go zero space something, that you fill your chakras up and you fill your vessel up with the plant life, you get access to the first dimension. That's where you drop off all your garbage. You wash all your clothes, you wash everything up, you wash up your physical matter, you transmute it into something else. You bring your matter up raw through the second and first dimension, bring it up, and that's where you go into the third dimension and you use your green heart chakra to start terraforming your reality. After that, you then bring it up your cord and you continue to go up and down your cord, getting bigger and smaller, okay? And you create your own reality. So please keep this information around you. When we're doing reads and stuff like that, we're asking for colors and numbers. This is why we are trying to call back all of these fractals, okay? So what happened during this fall in frequencies where you guys forgot who you were? You guys fell down your source chords. That's why it's called fallen, okay? And as you fell down, each one of these orbs you forgot about, it got pinged off side to side, okay? And you were what we call shattered. And you didn't remember anything above this, okay? You didn't remember anything below it either. You didn't have the knowledge of what a source chord even was. You were under the impression that you have 2 helixes of DNA. You have way more than that. And in order to function in each one of these dimensional spaces, right, you're getting different helixes activated, and on your full 13 helix will turn back on. And yes, there is more than that. But let's start with the basics, okay? As you go up in frequency, you acquire more triangles, you acquire more helixes, okay? Each dimensional space represents a helix. So getting you up into these 13 dimensions, up and down, free flowing, seeing each dimensional space and color and hear its frequencies individually, knowing that you're operating and existing in all of these at once. This is the representation of cutting out your snakes, taking control of your free will 6 and these 6 outside chakras, and control of your source chord. That's your 666 that they love to control that you don't know about, and operating in a fashion where you are riding up and down your source chord with ease. Again, you are creating and terraforming your own reality here. You know the divine feminine is your matter. You know that the divine masculine is your source code. Everything is source code and matter put together, and that creates something tangible, like a vessel or a coat or a car or whatever. Okay, source code and matter. One comes from above, one comes from below. So this is your introduction to your source chord, cutting out your snakes. Why do you want to cut your snakes out? This is why you want to have all of your reality to be in control over it. Once you open up and you get into your golden skin, I do want you to see that The sixth dimension has, it says silver, but it's actually platinum. You have a silver lining around all of your frequencies. And in the seventh dimension, everything is gold lined. You have a golden skin. Everything in your Merkaba is shining gold. You do not want to go onto some sort of monetary system that is the gold standard. You are the gold standard in 7D, okay? So don't stop at this 3 to 5D shit. It doesn't make sense that you would skip a dimension. Nobody's telling you how to physically get into these dimensions and start perceiving them. Well, when you fill your chakras up with these different colors and you keep your source code on either side and you don't let those snakes of duality and living in a false light and evil and whatever, it's all bullshit. You now have the ability to take this information and move forward with it and do something about it and say, hey, I write my own scripts. I'm not following a script. I'm not following a scripture. Nobody else's prophecy lines is going to work for me. I'm going to look at my own prophecy lines. I'm going to use my telepathy, my remote viewing, my ability to feel what you're feeling, to discern whether or not I'm going to buy the experience that you're offering. And I'm asking all of you, don't buy anything that these motherfuckers are offering on either side. They're all still lying. And I've said it. It's all lies on both sides. Those are the same. That's the same fucking bird on two sides of those wings, okay? It's the same bullshit. So removing yourself from the knowledge of good and evil and duality and putting yourself into polarization where you are in control of your positive and your negative frequencies and attracting what you want to you and pushing away what you don't want to for you, right? Which is all these systems. Realizing that the minute you say that something has power over you, those snakes come in and you lose the knowledge of this again. Nothing has power over you. You are the God that you've been waiting for. Okay? Mwah. On to the next video.